15 months after it was originally supposed to open, A Quiet Place Part 2 is finally opening, and only on the big screen where it most definitely belongs. And wow, was it worth the wait. I'm Scott Moviemantz here with my review of A Quiet Place Part 2.
It's okay. It's okay. We're okay. We're okay. That's okay. That's Where? Mom. Oh my God.
I remember in March of 2020, I was literally hours away from seeing A Quiet Place Part 2 at a press screening when the pandemic shut everything down and everything was changed overnight. Now, while some studios sold their big movies to streaming services like Netflix and Amazon and Hulu, Paramount Pictures held on to A Quiet Place Part 2. They kept pushing it back until the right time for it to be seen on the big screen in a movie theater. And boy, am I glad they did that, because A Quiet Place Part 2 is a big movie with a capital M that definitely belongs on the biggest screen possible. It's absolutely fantastic, and it's just as good as its amazing predecessor, which was a surprise hit when it opened in 2018, grossing $341 million worldwide on a $17 million budget, I have to add, and also winning Emily Blunt a well-deserved SAG Award for Best Supporting Actress, and I am sure that scene in the bathtub did the trick. Now, Part 2 has a lot to live up to, and it definitely does, with returning director John Krasinski also writing the screenplay this time for a film that picks up exactly where the first one left off and also answers some very interesting questions about how we got into this crazy mess in the first place. But I don't want to spoil the party here, so I'll spare the details, but I just have to say that it felt so great to experience all the emotions that you can only feel when you watch a movie on the big screen as a shared experience with other movie lovers. And for a movie that's gripping and suspenseful and terrifying and really does keep you on the edge of your seat, I actually got a little emotional by the turning point that seeing A Quiet Place Part 2 represents after the last crazy 15 months that we all went through. But back to the movie itself, it's so good, it's so much fun. And once again, Emily Blunt and Noah Jupe give great performances, but the real star here is Millicent Simmons, the young hearing-impaired daughter who held the keys to the survival of the human race in the first film. And just like the first movie, the manipulation of sound is a key factor in the effectiveness of the sequel. And also like the first movie, Part 2 has a big heart and a great degree of intimacy when it comes to how much you care about the Abbott family. I was so consumed by the power of A Quiet Place Part 2 that while I was watching it, I forgot how long it had been since I saw a movie this way on the big screen, and I mean that in a good way, because Part 2 did exactly what any great movie on the big screen is supposed to do: entertain you, engage you, and consume you on such a deep level that you forget about everything else. And this movie definitely does. It's so fun. I can't wait to see it again on the big screen. So if you've been waiting for the right movie to see on the big screen again after all this time, the wait is over. A Quiet Place Part 2 is a great film, it's a fun movie, and it represents a glorious return to everything we've always loved about the movie-going experience. So if you haven't already guessed, yes, A Quiet Place Part 2 is a big see it. I'm Scott Moviemantz, back soon with more reviews, and until then, here's looking at you, kid.